Mordecai Oriason. There was a man who was unhappy. When asked if he were happy, he would say, "I'm happy," or "I'm happy 90% of the time." But this man exaggerated the percentages. Most often, his targeted reason, his source of the unhappiness, was another person. And he would confront the other person 2, 3 times, maybe 20 if the person kept hanging around. And he would try to persuade him to do things to make him happy. And when the other person declined, then the man would become emotionally, verbally abusive and persist in his unhappiness. And he would go out to his community and he would recruit others and tell them, "This man is making me unhappy. This is how and why." And very often, people in his community would say, "Yes, that's a good reason to be unhappy. I will be unhappy with you." Other people in the community said, "No, that's a bad reason," and they tried to persuade the man to be happy. And when he declined, then those people would walk away and persist in their happiness. Now the man and his entourage would persist in their unhappiness, being verbally and emotionally abusive to those who made them unhappy. And eventually some of them would destroy property and even physically hurt those who made them unhappy. This went on for quite some time. Now, the man knew a woman, and the woman knew joy. She actually was happy 90% of the time, and 10% of the time, maybe 5%, unhappy because of different events in her life. They were challenges, and they needed focused attention, and it involved her making all sorts of changes to her life. But she kept the joy. She retained the joy. Now the man who was unhappy, who was happy 10% of the time, when he was happy, he would laugh, and the laughter would resound from the rafters. And the woman who was happy 90% of the time and had joy 100% of the time, well, her laughter wouldn't resound from the rafters. Her laughter was incisive, and it permeated everyone around her. It was absorbed by those who wanted to know what joy is, and it lasted. It lasted in those who surrounded her. When she laughed and when she smiled, it emanated, and the warmth filled the room of whichever room she was in. And when she was outside, oh, that warmth would extend far indeed. The man eventually died, as all men do, and he left behind a legacy of anger and unhappiness. And those around him who accepted that legacy persisted in the legacy, and they brought unhappiness to those around them, and they invited others to be unhappy with them. And the woman eventually died, as all women do, but she left a legacy of joy. And those around her who accepted this legacy continued to extend this legacy of joy to those around them. And that, my friends, is my story, and I'm sticking to it.